Now that you have created your quiz, you want to start adding questions. So go to the Properties tab and scroll down till you have Add Edit Questions. And you'll come to this page, click New, and you'll see all the different question types. For, for any quiz, you don't need to have the same question type. If I want to make a quiz with 10 questions, for example, I could choose the first two questions to be multiple choice, the next three questions to be fill in the blank, and the last to be matching. So I'm going to start this with multiple choice questions. Alright, so you need to be a bit careful with these question types because each one has slight variations in their settings. For multiple choice, here are the points that you need to be aware of, and I'll go through these in turn. A title, it says is optional, and I tend to leave this blank for a reason I'll show you very shortly. But for the two multiple choice questions I'm going to make now, I'll put a title for the first one, and I'll give the second one no title, so you can see why I tend to leave this blank. So I'll call this one question 1. The next thing is the points. For multiple choice, it's one question, I would leave it as 1 point. Difficulty, I tend not to touch. Coming on down to the question type, let's say where do I live? Okay. Right, so come down to the options. For enumeration, this is whether you want A, B, C, or D next to the answers, or 1, 2, 3, and 4. My preference is I leave it off, but it's up to you. For the style, do you want the answers listed down or across, or do you want a box with a drop-down menu? My preference is just to leave it as vertical. I thoroughly recommend checking the randomized options, right? For one thing, it means in an assessment the answers are randomized, but also it makes making many questions of this type very easy because you have this save and copy feature at the bottom. So it means I'll always put the correct answer in box number 1. So for my question, it's Medina Said. The weighting percentage, you must set this to 100. This means 100% correct. And your quiz will not work unless you put 100 next to the correct answer. For the other options, I'll put Dubai, leave that as 0. I'll put Liwa and Silla. And there's also the possibility, if you want to add more options, if you want to add 3 more options, you can put a 3 in here and click Add Options. But I'm happy with these 4, so I'll just click Save. Okay, so there you go, there's my question 1. If I want to create a second multiple choice question and copy all of the settings from this question, I'll open it and save and copy. So if I save that now, you can, oh, it didn't save, right. Because of this, we have an LMS glitch. Sometimes when you do work on a quiz and save, it refreshes and all of your work is lost. So you have to do it again. So I'm sorry about that, but this may be something you have to deal with. It's why you should be saving your work routinely so that you don't do a lot of work and then lose it all. So I'll go back and I want to copy this question. So I'll click on it, and at the bottom, save and copy. I'm not going to change anything here, I'm just going to save and copy. So this should be question 2. Now I'm going to delete the title and just save this. So there you go. There's my original question, and there's the one I just copied. And you can see the effect of not putting a title. When I put question 1, I don't know what that question is. But if I leave it off, I can read the question that I've set. I think it helps when when you've got 10, 15, 20 questions that you're trying to go back and edit, it helps to be able to see what the question is. So that's why I like to leave that off. But now I want to edit this question. These are just copies of each other, so I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to change the question to, let's see, the UAE, or let's say Abu Dhabi is the capital of which country? I know these are silly questions, but I'm just doing it for demonstration. So again, I keep the first box. What was my question? Okay, I keep the first box for the correct answer. The UAE. Again, because I've copied the last question, all my settings are copied over as well, so I don't need to keep adding 100 to this box. I just need to change the answers that were there. So Britain, and I can put Oman, and let's put Australia, and save. So there you are. Now that we have two questions, you can preview them. Click the drop down menu next to each one and preview. So where do I live? Medina Said. Now it happens to be first, but believe me, it is randomized. So that's my choice, and then it shows you at the bottom what the correct answer is, and done to come out of that. And you can check the preview the next one as well. Abu Dhabi is the capital of which country? The UAE. And it will show you how it will appear to students. Alright, or what the correct answer is. So that's how we make multiple choice questions. When you're finished, click this box, Done Editing Questions. And it will take you back to the Properties tab.